moving on now to Oliver Queen himself, Green Arrow. So this season starts out, Team Arrow, after the whole Slade thing, they're going around kicking ass, taking names, and Oliver believes he's at this place where he can start to have a normal life and possibly settle down with Felicity, or at least, you know, date and possibly have a relationship with her. Now, does this sound familiar to anyone else? Keep in mind, each of these seasons so far have been based on a movie in the Nolan Batman trilogy. So, first season, Batman Begins. Second season, Dark Knight Rises. And I was thinking to myself, The Dark Knight. They're gonna do The Dark Knight. Okay, I guess that could be interesting. And there's actually something else that happens in that episode, and I'll get to that when I talk about the episode, that would make you think that they were gonna do The Dark Knight this season. Nope. This season seems to just follow nothing, which is actually one of the theories about why the season wasn't that good. Which I don't know. Yeah. I think that's the least of its issues. That wasn't homaging a Nolan Batman movie. I guess the idea is that at least if they had something to follow, like plot points to follow, it it would at least have some sort of structural integrity to it. And I don't know. I guess if they were modeling this season after any movie, I guess it would be like The fucking Room or fucking The Last Airbender or Battlefield Earth, because it's fucking terrible. Okay, I know. I'm sorry. I know I did that joke before. So he goes through this. What happens in the episode? New Count Vertigo shows up, uh, shoots a bazooka at friggin' Green Arrow and Felicity, and this kind of makes Oliver realize, I'll never have a normal life. And at the very end, the Sarah Lance Black Canary gets killed, but we don't find out who until later. And boy, just wait until we get to that reveal. How fucking stupid it is. But so the rest of the season, Oliver acts like a poor man's dark brooding Batman. And actually, there's this moment in the it's not even these first nine, but it's in the Arrow, well, not the Arrow, the Flash, excuse me, the Flash episode that is part of the Arrow Flash 2 episode crossover, where he has this speech to Flash and his allies about how he's revealed his identity to them and that his enemies can use that information against him and shit. And I'm just rolling my fucking eyes, just like when that Maseo guy was revealed to be part of the league. It was that same kind of roll my eyes kind of moment where it was just like, this is Batman. This is something Batman would say. Oliver Queen would not say this. Now, when the show started, like, I realized that this isn't like the true to the source material, 100% Green Arrow from the comic books. I understand that. This is their interpretation. This is the Stephen Amell, fucking Andrew Kreisberg, Greg Berlanti, whatever, interpretation of Green Arrow. It's a new spin. Okay, that's fine. And actually, if you want to see what Green Arrow's actual personality is supposed to be like, they actually nailed it really well in some of the animated stuff. I'm going to include links in the description. That's actually how Green Arrow is supposed to be. He's supposed to be the liberal crusader. And in this show, up until this point, you get no hints of that. Zero, right? No hints of that at all. It'd be nice if there was like a something, just anything, kind of just showing Oliver Queen. He wants to stick up for the little guy or something, anything like that. That he's somehow like anti-establishment a bit, Something, even just little hints would be nice. But who knows if they're even going to go that route, or they're just going to go on a totally new interpretation. Now, when the show starts with the flashbacks, this is how, like, at least I seen it anyway, was that the show starts out with the flashbacks where he's this kind of just punk kid. He goes through some crazy shit. And then he turns into this like fucking sociopath who just goes around murdering people. Now, granted, for the right reasons, but still, at the end of the day, he's a murdering psychopath. Then he meets people like Diggle and Felicity in the first season, and he starts to like humanize him again. He's starting to relate to people again. He starts to deal with his family. He starts to get turned back into a human being, not some fucking sociopath killer. And then he goes from that, and I'm guessing over the course of 5 seasons, he would then become a full-fledged superhero. So again, you know, the whole thing with the start and the flashbacks, you're essentially getting a 10-year origin of Green Arrow. The problem is, they're abandoning this new interpretation thing where, you know, fine, you know, how he was characterized the first couple seasons, I didn't mind. I didn't mind that it wasn't 100% comic book Green Arrow. That's fine. But now what they've done is essentially make him fucking Old Duels, non-alcoholic beer, no sugar added, fucking day-old bread, supermarket reduced rack, bootleg merchandise, diet caffeine-free Batman. It's stupid. And people talk about like they want a Batman TV show. You guys have 2 Batman TV shows. You have Arrow and you have Gotham. And if I wanted to watch a badly written Batman TV show, that's what I'd watch. I'd watch Gotham. I would not watch Arrow with the expectation it's being written as though the main character is fucking Batman, with a Batman villain in Batman storylines. The fight that Arrow has with Ra's al Ghul in the 9th episode, we'll talk more about in depth there, but it's based on a fight Batman has with Ra's al Ghul in the comic books. It was an homage to that. That's why they're in the fucking the mountains, freezing cold fucking mountains, completely shirtless with swords. Didn't that seem strange to anyone else? Yes, because in the comic, it's 2 dudes shirtless in the desert fighting with swords. That's the reason why that fight was the way it was, because they're homaging Batman. And you know what? 95% of the audience didn't even notice, didn't even give a fuck. No one cared about your stupid Batman homage. So later in the season, after these 9 episodes, Ra's al Ghul wants to pretty much force Oliver into becoming the next Ra's al Ghul. And if you know your Batman, that is obviously a Batman storyline that it was taken from Batman. Play fucking Arkham City. They even do it there. And it's funny because the producers want to use... They've gone on record saying they want to use Batman on this show. And, of course, you know, DC Warner Bros. Says no. But the thing is, DC and Warner Bros., they're fucking suckers. Because Batman is on this show. He's fucking Oliver Queen. He's fucking Green Arrow. That is Batman. They're writing him as though he is Batman. So all they did was change his name. But they get to use Batman. It's just like the Ted Kord Blue Beetle thing. They couldn't use him, so they just used the Atom and wrote him as though he was Ted Kord Blue Beetle. You guys are suckers for falling for the crap. And they're just plugging in Oliver Queen for fucking Batman. And the thing is, too, they're doing Batman storylines on a Green Arrow show. Do the Batman storylines on the Batman TV show. Don't do it on the show about Green Arrow. It's just lazy. It just shows that these writers aren't creative enough to either come up with their own original stories or adapt Green Arrow stories from the comics. Apparently, they were given the job to make a Green Arrow show, but apparently they don't want to do it. So instead, they're going to do the Batman show they wanted to do. It's dumb. And okay, so just a little bit of history. Green Arrow was actually created as a Batman ripoff. He was given a kid sidekick who wore mostly red. He had a Arrow mobile. He had a Arrow cave. He has a millionaire playboy. All this stuff was in the original Green Arrow comic books. And it was deliberately done due to the popularity of Batman. Way back when. We're probably talking like the 40s. No. So fast forward to about the 2000s, and the producers of Smallville want to use Batman in their show. And of course, just like with Arrow, they were told no. So who do they use instead? Oliver Queen, Green Arrow. So he is in the place of Bruce Wayne, Batman. So this is familiar territory. Yeah, this seems to be a recurring theme where people don't want Green Arrow. They want Batman, but fuck it, we'll settle for Green Arrow. I want Green Arrow. Because for the first, like, when I first heard of Arrow, they're doing a show about Green Arrow, I just thought, whatever, right? I thought very little of it until I started watching the show for a few episodes. I'm like, hey, this show is actually pretty good. And they actually made me give a crap about Green Arrow. But now, they just give us Batman as Green Arrow. And it's stupid. I wanted them to continue to do Green Arrow. I want to see things in the DC universe that don't have to do with Batman, because it just seems the mentality of Warner Bros. In DC when it comes to live action stuff, particularly the movies, and it's from the top and trickles its way down, is that they have no faith in their properties other than Batman. And you might be saying, oh, well, Wonder Woman and Superman are pretty popular. Okay, well, they might be number 2 to Batman, but they're a far, far distant number 2 to Batman. Not even fucking close. Warner Bros. Has gone so far to, instead of doing a Man of Steel sequel, they're gonna put Batman in it, because they couldn't. I guess they had no faith that a Superman movie sequel would do what they would want as far as money and everything. Superman couldn't carry his own film, essentially. I mean, I guess Man of Steel did okay, but it's still not as good as what Batman numbers. And you got this Suicide Squad movie coming out, and guess who's in it? Joker and Batman. Suicide Squad. They're not members of the Suicide Squad. Why are they there? They don't need to be there. I know Harley Quinn's a member of the Suicide Squad. She doesn't need to be there. Fucking look at Arrow. Arrow did Suicide Squad. They didn't have to rely on Batman shit. They just have no faith. And you know what I think it is? I think it's that fucking Green Lantern movie they did like 4 years ago that didn't do all that well. Which coincidentally was written by some of the same writers as Arrow. Small World. But now they're all, trigger shy, and I don't give a fuck that they released a fucking schedule for their other properties.